Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Graham Morrison. I'm joined by Cyberwaste, and we are here for the first week, the first round of Ascent, the new AOE Sports tournament.
Indeed, it is time to ascend, and it is another looking glass into the future of Australian Overwatch, and we are wasting no time in our opening matchup. We are going straight to Ilios, and while we do have a little bit of a breather, we'll run you down who is on what side. And Dreamboat, would you kindly run us through the list on the left?
It's going to be Beach Club, 202 IQ Gamer, which, gotta love that name. Hatosmack, Cruzno, and Jarps, and that is On Point Gaming, I believe.
Yes. And
over on Yin Yang, Cyberwaste, tell me who we got.
Yes, indeed, the Bringers of Harmony and Chaos. We have Combat Wombat, Shooter McGrav, who I may inadvertently called Shooter McGravin, Water's Edge, Logadog, Dialect, and Cloud. So hopefully we won't see any giant sword usage out of Cloud, or we could be having a crossover that nobody would expect or really ask for. But to kick us off, we are doing the control section, and we are on Ilios, and we will be on the Lighthouse, which will be a strong point for contention because of how closed off it is. The gates are dropping, and here we go.
And you know what I'm happy to see here, Cyberwaste? A distinct lack of goats.
Yes, you and me both. You and me both. And there's the first frag already exchanged. Cruzno will drop one of the tanks in Water's Edge. That will make things a lot more difficult. And there is the Diva promptly hacked as well. A beach is blown. Cloud cleared away from the server. So that is an even keel. And now the squad of On Point are on the point and now accruing percentage first.
Yeah, they managed to get couple kills early, just didn't really let the rest of the players on Yin Yang get in and give them a chance. So now we're starting to see them move forward with a little bit of aggression here. There's going to be the Diva going in pretty deep, and Hatosmack will be DMAxed very well behind. But Dialect on the Doomfist will be the first one to fall. Kills are starting to go Yin Yang's way, and as they get a pair of them with the Diva and Tracer fixed, and now they should be able to gain this point. There's still some players here trying to say hey to that, though.
Just trying to buy time. 202 did cut right through Shooter McGrav's mech, but may not be able to accrue all that much more. Looks like the forces of On Point Gaming have been forced back, and 292 copped a right hand right to the jaw, but they are still wanting to bleed time on the side of On Point Gaming, but it's only a matter of time now that the Nano Boost has been used on Water's Edge and has turned into a torrent and has blown away Hatosmack and the Diva. The fight is being elongated, so that is a good sign for the side of On Point. Not only with the Primal Rage used, but the Nano Boost as well, just trying to play the clock. And all things considered, an extra 20 or so percent was accrued there for quite a bit invested, but in the grand scheme, you'd be pretty happy with that on the side of On Point.
Yeah, I mean, just everything seems to go well there, getting them up to 63% as we have the swap over. Real important part here, though, is that Yin Yang, they have the point in their control right now, and they have a lot of ultis on their side for when this push comes in. They are still going to be getting some here for On Point Gaming. They've now got a couple, and here comes the opener as they use the boost in. So that's going to be Dialect getting the first kill onto the Ana. Gotta traded out with the Dragon Blade, but the kills, they're still going Yin Yang's way. They found a couple more, picking off now both supports, and Shinra Grab with a 2K will pretty much end things here.
Yeah, and that will be the end of that. They call the retreat. Cloud's huge EMP just after the sound barrier was dropped, which, if you do not remember, that basically cancels out any shield that you gain from that ability. So that is a huge call to engage, and they just basically knocked down the side of On Point and forced them to try again, and are now taking the lead. But for how long? The entire side of On Point is moving up towards the top, and it sounded like a pulse bomb did get thrown out by Kruzno, but did not find a target. The self-destruct did hit the deck from Halo Smack, but did not claim any victims. Cloud does put down Jobs with a hail of bullet fire, and just like that, it looks like the entire side of On Point is basically putting the plug on it, and I wanted to try again, but Mr. Graham, they're running out of chances.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of time to get on there. There will be the Tracer lurking in behind, so they're at least going to get some contention in here. Or will they? Someone has finally jumped on the point. They are in overtime, but these ults are coming out, and that Diva Bomb's going to force them off the point. They are still brawling out here, but the kills, they're starting to go the way of Yin Yang once again. A couple quick ones back here for On Point Gaming, but the point, it hasn't been converted. There's only 2 players left here. It's now just a baby Diva and a Tracer trying to brawl this out, and I think they're going to be cleaned up with relative ease here. The Tracer's making some problems, but there it is. Swaps over. Yin Yang go 0 to 100 and pull it off.
Did do the complete run after giving up 63%. The Junkrat there almost gave them a window of opportunity on the side of On Point, getting it 2 with the Rip Tire. But now, with all that said and done, the side of Yin and Yang are 1 point up in this set, and we're going to actually one of my favorite points in the entire game, I feel, which is the Ruins, because of how open-ended it is, and basically inviting for long-range scouting. And it looks like we will actually see the fabled Widow Jewel take place. We'll see 202 IQ Gamer. Wonder where he gets the extra 2 from. And he has Dialect to contend with.
And we'll see. Dialect is going to be key because he was doing a lot of work. Yin Yang, they were in control for a large part of that map. So if he can continue to churn through, it could be a quick 2-0 on the first map here. Of course, with 202 IQ Gamer, he does have some good competition as we have the opening engagement starting to come in. The Winston's putting a little bit of pressure in. Shinra Grab is going to be the mech, but 202 IQ Gamer has gone down to the Sombra. So that's a nice opening pick, but with the Arista, they've managed to get the cap here for On Point Gaming, as they are, in fact, on the point, and with the shield, they're able to group up together. Good job of churning out some damage. Now the engagement's starting to come forward, and Cloud with another nice pick there. The Sombra doing a lot of work, picking off the Moira, and the anti-nade is perfect from the Ana. So these remaining players are going to be cleaned up, and Yin Yang are going to flip the point.
Yes, indeed, and that's just a mere formality now. 202 will get 1 frag, but that will not be worth all that much, and it will actually stretch out On Point's next chance to attack, because they're still waiting for the compatriots to come back into the fray. But now that they are at full strength on both sides now, we see the Deadeye and the Empress sites on deck, as a matter of fact. But there it goes now from 202 IQ. That could be the cue to go. And with Logador being taken out and Azos being hacked as well, it looks to be a tit-for-tat fight, as a matter of fact, onto the point. But keep this in mind, there's still a crit percentage on the side of Yin and Yang, but it might not be for much longer with only 2 left to defend.
Yeah, the remaining players cleaned up once again. The Saris is doing a lot of work. It's allowing them to just get kind of on the point, be well protected, and churn out damage while not really taking anywhere near the same amount. And I'm curious to see if Yin Yang might cycle things up to try and break that, because they don't have a lot that kind of punches its way through that shield.
No, and depending on what composition that you run, that shield is going to be an absolute menace given how long it'll last. There goes the EMP and the self-destruct, forcing at least the defense away for the time being. Does not claim any victims in the fallout. Shooter McGrav will drop Jarp, so that's turned into scrap metal, as well as Kruzno. Sorry, Cowboy, you're gonna have to put your feet up. Shooter McGrav has just run through this entire On Point Gaming squad. Sure, they're accruing more percentage, but it's only a matter of time, it would seem. And there goes Beach on the Brigitte. Halos Max been put to bed. And now the side of Yin and Yang have put things back in their favor and are wanting to achieve balance. They're close to taking the lead. And now it is up to On Point to give a retort.
And they are starting to move forward, inching their way into this engagement. And they found a nice opening pick, catching the Winston there. This Water's Edge has fallen. Now with the Bongo coming out, Deadeye as well, they're going to start to clean up the remaining players here for Yin Yang. It's going to be very clean. Not even a single player has dropped for On Point Gaming, as they once again are on the point, have gained control of that.
Yes, indeed. And now it's just only stretching out the respawns now and just try to catch everybody out and unawares. Almost went down to the Hounds of Cloud, but did get the healers to come to their aid. And with the Empress side, that's going to basically bring the jig up for Cloud if he tried any shenanigans. There is the Blade unseen from Dialect. Has not claimed anything thus far, but definitely causing an absolute nuisance. Did end up claiming out jumps, but does give his life up for it at the hands of Hados Mac. And there is the self-destruct coming out from the Diva of Shooter McGrav. Has once again run through with a Tandem McLeod. Has brought it in overtime to coming close to follow the Yin Yang, and there it is. They did max out on the side of the blue side of On Point, but if one of the red members actually gets staggered here or caught out of position, this could be an easy tip back and eventual win.
Cloud behind with the EMP is going to be so key. He's got 4 in front of him, waiting for the right time. Has been spotted out, and there it is. I think that caught everybody, to be honest with you, and that may well just do it for this map. The remaining players are starting to be cleaned up right now for On Point Gaming. Someone has managed to get there and put the overtime in. That's Jarp. But now the remaining players are just being picked apart. They've been split. They've been surrounded. And they should fall. They've done a good job staying resilient. But someone needs to get on that point. Finally, they do get there just in time. As we still have this engagement coming in. The Coalescence popped off, looking for any kills. But they're still going the way of Yin Yang. Diva Bomb clearing them off the point to get back in just in time. And finally a kill coming in. 202 IQ Gamer getting 2 with that Dragon Blade. Make that a 3 for him. And that may be the difference in this game. A couple players on this point. Hammond doing all kinds of work in Cyber Waste. I think we're going to have the case where it goes to On Point Gaming.
Indeed, and that is the epitome of the entire game can hang on the edge of a blade. And that was put into a solid up mantra by Mr. 202 IQ Gamer. Must have an IQ buff for the armor that he picked up from an engram somewhere. And now we are tied at 1 going to the final point of Ilios, and we see the pit of death. We are going to well.
Who doesn't like a pit of death, right?
Most gladiators probably don't, because they know that it's filled with like spikes and unrelenting doom. Anyway, we are coming.
But it also leads to their glory.
You might be thinking of a different mythology there. We'll have to go back to that. But be aware, we do have Dialect, but we will see Kruzno making Dialect's life a living hell, or aiming to at least, being on the McCree and trying to swat both Dialect and the right hand of Logadog. As we see both teams move out towards the point, and in terms of actual getting the point as soon as it unlocks, Yin and Yang will be able to get the first touch of it, and there goes the full counter to engagement. 202 cutting Combat Wombat in half.
Ooh, Crusoe doing so much work right now. The McCree wreaking havoc, and this will be just an easy cleanup. They finally get the Roadhog down the Shit McGrav, and now we have Cap through. There's And they're going forward. They are putting some pressure on there with the McCree, just shooting some bullets into spawn, because why not, right?
Gotta assert dominance somehow. And now On Point have retrieved back and have wanted to go back to kind of regular positions, but not doing the do-si-do. The Point has been left completely abandoned. Not getting the free tip, but getting just over halfway to an actual tip. There goes the blade, as a matter of fact, from Dialect. Did get dropped by the counterpart in 202 IQ. The feed is moving a mix between red and blue. The Deadeye did come out from Cloud to force the opposition away. Did get rid of Kleb, but the member of Kruzno did end up winning the duel. But it was not enough. The side of Yin and Yang are now coming close to tying and taking the lead on this point of wealth. And if you look at the ultimate percentage and how close a lot of the others are coming to a second on the proceedings, this supercharger from Water's Edge could be quite pivotal if it's not dealt with.
And here comes the engagement. Bongo is out on the field right now as the Winston's up in the face. And all the kills have gone the way of On Point Gaming. A clean sweep.
Yep, grab the broom and yep, sound the bell too. And that will be the end of that. An absolutely dominant sequence of events there. Kruzno basically cracked the defense and they relied way too much on the side of On Point Gaming. They relied way too much on the other side there, Yin and Yang. They relied way too much on the supercharger and how much that will do, and that might give Yin and Yang a couple of chances on the back foot before they're able to properly retaliate.
Again, On Point Gaming, they're just finding all of these kills are condensing so heavily. And really, we need to start seeing a response from Yin Yang very quickly.
They may have only 1 or 2 chances yet, but it could be their best. There is the nano boost, the sound barrier, the dragon blade, and Cloud likely will get a Deadeye in the next fight if he is sharp enough with that Peacekeeper. And there goes the dragon blade and the sound barrier. Dialect is trying to cut this attack in half and is succeeding in doing so thus far. But 202 IQ is definitely no slouch either, cutting Cloud to pieces.
Winston is in the Primal Raid form, just trying to knock players around, keep them off the point, but this looks like it will be Yin Yang getting the flip. But this actually the respawns have come in for On Point Gaming, and they're willing to commit to this solely because of how long Jarp stayed alive and how much of a problem he has caused. With the bomb coming off, Point will in fact flip, and with the remaining kills, it will be On Point Gaming falling back, regrouping right now.
Sometimes you just gotta be scrappy, and that's the epitome of that. And now, basically, the side of On Point have this round 1. They just have to get the point to be flipped once more. But on well, it could be one of the most difficult things to do if you don't play it right. There goes the Deadeye from Cloud. It's going to force On Point to at least stand back for a little while as the sun rises and sets on 12 o'clock. And it looks like On Point want to have a go on this, especially with Combat Wombat being dropped from the server.
Yeah, they are engaging here on the point. They're trying to brawl it out. They're trying to find whatever they can. Cloud will not find a kill there, though, as Smack picks him off. And here's the thing, they're off the point right now. It's starting to swap. Coalescence coming in. All these kills are going On Point Gaming's way. They have found absolutely everything in this engagement so far. It's just Shoot 'em a grab in the Lucio, trying to delay. The Moira has arrived to the fight now with the Genji. But the Genji is down a pit. So these two players now, just the Diva, trying to hold this out. They've been killed. The bomb will come down. And now, again, the spawn's coming in. There's a Hammond that can keep things going for a little bit while. But they are still just being mowed down. He should go down any moment. And it will be On Point Gaming taking the round.
They definitely did have to fight for that, though. For all 3 points, as a matter of fact, it could have tipped either way, and it showed signs for everyone of that. As we see, 202 IQ gamer. I'm still curious as to where he got that extra 2 from. But, well, I can't really dispute it when he's doing things like this, especially with the Riptide there. He almost bought the side of On Point a ticket on Lighthouse to get the point back, but it was not to be. And look how many eliminations 202 got. It was 46 by the end of the day. Definitely no slouch there. And
Pretty solid series for him.
yeah, solid 3-point run there. And that is On Point, well, being on the board. You can definitely put it there. And now we want to see what map comes next.
What's next? That is just being decided. And I don't know what I'd like to see next. What would you like to see?
Ooh. That's interesting, actually.
It doesn't matter what you want to see because apparently.
Oh well, coincidentally, I would have actually said Root because it's actually a really interesting and constantly evolving ways to play at least the first point around Big Earls, and with Hammond, I'm seeing Hammond quite a bit more with the way that he can dislodge any. It could go both ways. It could either dislodge a defense on Big Earls or dislodge an attack basically anywhere around there, around first. And if one of the teams ends up getting a stronghold, it's going to be extremely difficult to break.
No kidding. That will be the challenge for them. We do go to Route 66. They're just readying up right now, taking a quick breather. And with the way that went down to the wire on that point, I can understand them needing a little bit of a breath.
Definitely. And, well, everybody to stay hydrated. I don't know if the bot is in the chat, the infamous Stay Hydrated bot, but please, for the sake of yourself, stay hydrated. That'd be lovely. Because we'd like to see you sticking around to watch the action and just stay alive, please. That'd be lovely.
Staying alive usually is a good idea. I don't know who told me that one, or where I got that idea, but yeah, staying alive is generally what you want. And I think one of the players over on Yin and Yang went to the little boys' room. He is returned from the little boys' room, and we are now en route to 66.
Yes, sir. And the side of Yin and Yang are on the attack first, and we will wait and see what they bring out on really wanting to either make a statement or just not get it all together. But I hope they're going to bring their A game because just judging from what we've seen, I know it's a small sample size, they're definitely no slouches on the side of On Point. Once they get dug in, they're going to be really difficult to try and remove. You need a giant pair of tweezers that'll be dug in like a damn tick.
Well, Cyber Waste, we are just seeing the selections coming in as the defense is being prepared. I was briefly teased that we might see a Torbjorn. And it's not going to be the case, unfortunately.
Right back.
For the defense right now, it's looking like it'll be a Sombra on the field. Diva Winston, fairly common. Genji. And a Mercy? No, it's going to an Ana and a Lucio. Probably the right call. Ana right now is quite a good healer.
I'm seeing a lot more play as of late, especially with the buffs that she got. Especially with the 300 heal on Nano Boost, which is huge, especially if you do it on a big beefy tank who's a big beefy boy.
5, 4, 3,
Something about beef.
1.
What kind of beef? Is it like sirloin, like Kobe beef?
Oh no, this is the tough gritty beef. This is the basically all the tanks are as tough as a $2 steak. And especially the Zarya that will be on the attack. If Shooter McGrath actually gets a high charge, watch out, because that particle cannon is not only extremely damaging, but it sounds like a horde of angry bees. And the Bionade actually claimed 2 of the victims, but Combat Wombat has been made to pay with that. And geez, this attack from Yin and Yang has just basically been stopped. Aside from the good opening, that was it.
It was a really nice nade from Combat Wombat. It claimed both tanks with the anti. They should have been able to capitalize, but they kind of just paid attention to tanks and ignored everything else that came at them. The DPS just started shredding the back lines, and that rolled through most. Now we're going to see another engagement start to come forth there. The Sombra is in behind and got the hack onto the Ana, which is a good opportunity. Genji's getting right up in that face. They're trying to convert this kill. The Ana finally will get the abilities back, heal up, and I think that will lead to Halo Smack getting cleaned up, as is 202 IQ Gamer. So there's a bit of an opening for the offense now.
Indeed, and you can see the side of On Point just wanting to retreat, but keep an eye on Kruzno. About halfway to an EMP, but he's right behind the next line of attack that Yin and Yang will be going for. And now on the engagement from the Winston, that's forced On Point back. And Kruzno did actually claim a victim in dialect, so the side of Yin and Yang are playing one person down and make that 2. And another one from Halo Smack getting Logger Dog to say no more. And it looks like the attack has been called off and the payload is stuck just outside of Big Earls.
Ooh, Cloud getting cleaned up late there is a nice little stagger, so that's going to slow things down for Yin Yang again as they try and regroup and try and find an opening they really haven't had so far. This map haven't been many of them. Been really great by On Point Gaming playing together as they start to move forward. The Diva Bomb comes in right up above. Will claim the Ana. That's a lovely pick once again. On Point Gaming doing a great job getting these kills. With the Reinhardt down, that calls off another push. Yin Yang, they're not having openings here.
No. They're basically headbutting a brick wall. And now time is not on their side. We're going down to 1 minute and 20. And if you look at the alt economy for the side of Yin and Yang, this could be their best standing for quite a while. We see the Infrasight, we see the Nano Boost, we see the Graviton Surge and the Earth Shatter. That will be the call to go. We have 1 hot minute, and it will be basically do or die for the side of Yin and Yang.
Oh, that Graviton is going to be good as they find a couple kills off of it. To start, as they are starting to move this cart around the corner. Trying to find a few more kills. Finding the Sombra will pretty much guarantee they get a lot more space. There is 202 IQ Gamer on the Genji, though, causing a lot of problems right now. Will finally be cleaned up by Shoot 'em or Grab. And with that, I think point 1 will go the way of Yin Yang. There's a couple tanks here looking to maybe engage to slow this down, though, Cyberwaste.
Yeah, and now the side of On Point basically making one last stand to basically stop them from getting the first point. There is the Nano Boost on to Water's Edge to make everybody drown in a sea of German engineering and molten metal. 202 IQ has cut through a lot of the defense, but it was a valiant effort. It was not enough. The time was not enough. And it will be the advancement from Yin and Yang. They have bought themselves a little bit more time. They had to throw everything at it on the side of Yin and Yang. They do not have a lot of ultimates on their side, aside from the sound barrier, which will slowly be accrued by Logger Dog.
Yeah, but the other thing they did gain is 2 full minutes left to be able to push this to the next point. So that is a more comfortable window for them, but with the Summer in behind here, Kruzno may strike at the right time. Cause some problems here with that EMP.
Hack the Moira, actually.
Out.
Yeah, did hack the Moira, but I think that might have given away Kruzno's position and ended up getting trounced for it. And Beach did fall to a similar fate, going to the bench. So now we do see the cart slowly advancing, and the side of Yin and Yang really taking point now and preventing any further advancements. We will see one more fight break out for On Point to try and keep things in order. And if Kruzno gets a good enough EMP, this could be their ticket to hold the wall up, and that's exactly what happens. Hados will claim 1 tank and 1 DPS, and the rest of the side of Yin and Yang are definitely left scrambling. And they got so close to the second checkpoint, but now they're in a very similar situation of what last time. 1 hot minute. a fair few ultimates on deck, but they're gonna have to use them correctly because after what happened on the last point, I don't think On Point Gamer will really want to give the side of Yang another chance.
Well, they are starting to get right up in their faces right now, leading on shoot 'em or grab. The Winston has dove to the back line with the Divas. That's pulled some of these players back. Hito will be demected. That's a triple for the Deadeye, picking off 2 tanks and a DPS, because why not? And they will once again, with less than a minute on the clock, cap through.
Yeah, well, we basically just got told what time it is, and it's time for On Point to take a seat right over there. And now the cart will slowly advance towards the finish line, but arguably one of the hardest to push through. If the attack ends up getting stifled at any point, this could be curtains for the side of Yin and Yang. And just from the value of the frags, the Brigade has gone down to the hands of Clip A. A huge scalp. And they'll be aiming to keep this momentum going on the side of On Point. There's a Graviton Surge to keep a lot of the defenders in place. Shooter McGrath will claim Beach. And the cart will slowly continue its advance. And it's not going to show any signs of slowing down just yet. There goes the Dragon Blade from 202 IQ. And there goes the EMP. This could give the side of On Point to try and stabilize, but with 202 being out of the picture, that's not going to be the case. Self-destruct does not find any combatants to fall down to it. Dialect does get the upper hand of the counterpart. There is the Deadeye from Cloud to basically assert dominance. This card is showing no signs of slowing down.
None at all. There is a couple players staggering in to delay it, but that's just it. They're just staggering and being picked a piece one at a time. Cloud on the McCree doing so much work, and they will be able to cap all the way through. It looked dire, but instead they get it to pay dirt.
Indeed. Hopefully it's not like the coffee that tastes like dirt. But that is 3 points captured. So they finished the map outright. They only have 14 seconds in their back pocket, but that could be, well, enough to do or something, but they'll have to stick to the point like glue if we do end up going to extras. And now it is On Point's turn to show us their mettle.
That's awfully presumptuous, thinking that they'll go, that we may see extra time. I mean, they kept all the way through. These, they're not particularly easy to do on this map. I might be skeptical. I don't think that we will see it go all the way to extras. I think On Point Gaming are going to stonewall them at some point here.
Well, they definitely want to. And, well, obviously, if you can hold up a defense, that will be a good thing. And they're well and truly enamored to do it. Just looking at their composition, you see the Zarya, Reinhardt, Brigitte, a really solid set of healers, especially Combat Wombat and the Honor. Really wanting to dig in and do what On Point did to them in the half previous. 30 seconds until the gauge drop.
This defense, nothing too out of the ordinary for it. Just a fairly standard setup. Cloud is going to be on that Sombra, seeing if he can have anywhere near the impact that came in before.
5, 4, 3.
Alright, here we go. I did see the... Are we going to see the pirate ship, actually, from On Point? They're well and truly...
Yo-ho, yo-ho!
I know there's a certain pirate who would be running with glee, and that's definitely been called out by Cloud. Big behind them on the Sombra. And you can hear Kruzno just letting rip with the chain gun. And now everybody on the top of Big Earls is wondering, what on earth are we looking at? And just trying to duck for cover. They're not engaging, not losing HP, and right as I say that, Warrior's Edge gets sawed in half by Kruzno, but that'll be all they'll be able to muster. Dialect will say that is enough to that. And given that the pirate ship is a one and done strategy, if they lose any more members on the side of On Point, that could be the sign to say that's enough.
Well, there was a bit of a mistake in that engagement from Jarps, in the fact that he didn't move the Orisa shield. It was fully up for a while, so he should have had the ability to replace it, and he just kind of left it, and because of that, the Bastion got shredded. And now we have the EMP coming in, this engagement's coming through, the defense trying to stonewall them. They have found a couple kills here, getting things opened up, but the ultimates are coming out in full force. They should be able to slow them down. We'll see a regroup from On Point Gaming here.
Yeah, and there goes the Tracer and Diva just running back into the clutches of the spawn gate. And we wait and see what will happen next. We're running into 218, and basically Kruzno's job now is to poke prod and be an annoyance. An annoying little gnat, as it were. And maybe he will succeed in doing so. A lot of the team is moving up top towards where the Sombra of Cloud is situated, and actually got the hack off onto the Tracer that will basically turn Kruzno into a sitting duck if he's not careful. There goes the Valkyrie, and a huge shatter from Water's Edge has basically stopped the advance, dead in its tracks, quite literally, because they all lost their legs. And 202 IQ are just buying time and wanting to die with the rest of the flock. Cloud will put an end to that. Sorry, Gabe, and we're running into 1 minute and 30. And if you're the side of Yin and Yang, given where the payload is, you'd be pretty happy with how that all transpired.
Yeah, and you mentioned that with the hack, that Tracer was a sitting duck. Well, maybe not entirely, but very much so when that brilliant Earth Shatter came in. And with that, we've seen the swap come into the Pharah. Taking a little bit of damage, though, from that Ana. Just one downside to playing Pharah is you are susceptible to some Ana spam. He is trying to do some work getting in behind with the damage boost. He's actually going to be dropping right into the Graviton with the bomb. Doesn't find the kills, though. On Point Gaming still trying to churn out some of these frags. They picked off the Brigida, which is a lovely opener here, Cyberways. And now they're looking for a few more.
Yeah, definitely a high value target. Then Logan Dog and Cloud have basically bled the blue out of the feed. Kruzno is the only member to reply. We are running sub 30 seconds, and if anybody gets scattered on the side of On Point Gaming, it could spell doom, especially if Hadol Smack actually gets knocked to his doom, being in the pilot form for this foreseeable future, unless Hados actually gets some damage off. But Cloud did end up going down. Perhaps a worthy sacrifice in terms of recon, and there goes the next engagement. And if this defense holds strong, it could be the final. And On Point are definitely making sure that this is not going to be the last. Kruzno is writing down a ton of justice and has dropped the hammer on the entire defense of Yin and Yang. The balance is shattered, and the cart will roll on. Open the gates. The second phase awaits for On Point.
Well, you know, like, I was gonna say like father, like son, but that doesn't really apply here.
Like mother, like daughter?
Like one team, like other team. Yeah, it goes down to the wire for that first point.
Like Browns, like Jets?
Stonewall.
Maybe?
I don't know, man.
That's a reach.
Like New Zealanders, like Aussies. We all come together in the end.
I guess.
We're more similar on the inside? I don't know.
This is falling away from us. Let's just commentate the match. Jobs will get rid of Cloud again. And yeah, he's gathering intel, but I'm not sure if it's actually enough. He'd want to get a frag or two on the back of that. And Dialect's also fallen, so we might see another situation compared to the previous round where they do end up getting a defense together on the opposing side, which in this case will be Yin and Yang, but it might be a little bit too fractured and too late. But now they are moving in at full strength. Kruzno has jumped up and crushed whatever defense Yin and Yang did have in mind. So now the gates will open again. We're moving into the second phase where yet again seeing about 2.5 minutes. But look at the ultimate bank that we have on the other side. It is loaded aside from Dialect, but in the next fight, it should come close.
Been here all along.
They are starting to roll the cart forward. We'll see if we can find that opener. You know, it's going to be Cloud with that EMP trying to start things off for his team. See where it will come in when it does. Jarp's doing a lot of work, but here comes the Graviton. There's the hack and everything, and that will be a clean up of 3 kills. I thought that was going to be a clean sweep. But the other 3 players managed to escape with their lives for the time being.
That's enough for everybody on the side of On Point to just go ahead, nope, and just back all the way out with a few lives saved, as a matter of fact, which is a good thing, all things considered. But Kruzno has decided to change things up. Farah is no more going on to the Junkrat, so expect plenty of explosions to come from different locations, and Kleb has pulled out the wings and is now in Valkyrie mode. The self-destruct does come out from Hados. Maka did not get as much as he would have liked, I'm pretty sure. 202 will win the duel versus Dialect. A huge Earth Shatter from the Reinhardt there of Water's Edge. Shoot him a grab, and basically the entire team will drop jobs. And despite the advancements on the payload coming oh so close, this is basically a tit-for-tat fight as the Graviton actually comes out, and Water's Edge will claim Kruzno, and Dialect does tie to the passive ability there of Kruzno, but it is not enough. Another fight won, a crucial fight won actually for Yin and Yang, and we're running into a bit of a dire dilemma for On Point Gaming.
There is no worse feeling than the one that Dialect just felt, where you die to the exploding corpse of a Junkrat. It's a little demoralizing, a little unfortunate, but he's going to take it for the fact that they won that fight. And now, with 20 seconds left on the clock, it's do or die here for On Point Gaming, and 202 Gamer is dead. Cruiser down 2 as well. This is falling apart, Cyberwaste. They don't look like they have much of a chance in here. The Hawk will come forward. The 2 tanks are trying to do what they can, but they are being mowed down. Yin Yang, they're going to close this one out.
Indeed. Peace and harmony, or balance between peace and carnage. Yin and Yang will bring the series to a level head, 1 map apiece. And Kruzno, despite his best efforts, definitely worthy of the MVP, but having a bit of a rough time when it came to the final point there, as well as the rest of On Point. They just couldn't crack it. So now we are tied at 1.
Now, of course, $1 million question. Every time we have one map end, what is the next one? Where will we go from here?
Well, if we're going through map or the tournaments and things that we've done in the past, we should see the assault portion come up next, and I want to see. I'd like to see Horizon. Actually, we're seeing Hanamura. Actually,
Ooh,
what a call!
Ooh.
This is one that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, it was between that or Volskaya Industries, and let's be reasonable, Cyberwaste. We've seen a lot of Volskaya lately. A lot.
Yes.
So I'm excited for the breath of fresh air of Hanamura.
Yeah.
Worth noting, of course, if you are just tuning in, our map pool, we did start on Ilios. They picked Route 66 over Junkertown. That was our escort. We then have Hanamura now instead of Volskaya. The loser of this one gets to pick where we go in our hybrid, which is Hollywood or Blizzard World. And then our control map is Oasis with a tiebreaker of Lijiang Tower.
Oh, wow. Really looking forward to that. And a few maps that you and I, Mr. Morrison, we have not seen in quite a while. Especially this map, Hanamura. And we have not seen Hollywood in quite a eon either. Curious to see how all that pans out. But,
yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to Hollywood. It's a map that I've always enjoyed. I have a love-hate with it. I think I have a love-hate with every map in this game.
I think everybody can...
side of it.
Yeah, everybody can attest to that. They have a love-hate relationship with a lot of the maps of the game. I
think the real secret is I have a love-hate relationship with this game. as a player, where I go through phases of, oh, this is great, and oh my god, now I'm dying to everything. I hate everything. Granted, it's all because I'm bad, but, you know.
Well, regardless of where you sit in terms of the ranked tiers, I'm sure that you've sort of got a lot of people that are watching right now. They're just nodding, going, "Yep, yep, pretty much." And we actually see the maid from Kruzno. That's really interesting and could actually, well, quite literally grind Yin and Yang's attack to a halt. And now it's time for the side of Yin and Yang to prove their mettle.
You always say that. What do you mean by prove their metal? Are they like proving that they're made of concrete or something, or that they're like steel or iron, or?
Wrong spelling. It's a different spelling.
Oh.
I'm securing the objective. Anyone
It's
want
METLE in that instance.
I see.
See,
Well,
we did it. There's our entertainment segment, and there's the Wizard of
Education.
Waters. Indeed, and the side of Yin and Yang is slowly making an advance. The jump's been taken out of the equation. That is a huge frag, and yet to be replied upon because the entire defense is falling by the wayside. And now it is only the Ice Demon or Queen of Kruzno falling to the Blade of Dialect, and just like that, in the opening push, Yin and Yang have basically broken this entire defense. We'll ring the bell to advance. And you have a ripping time bank, 6 minutes and 45, give or take.
Yeah, that's like everything you could possibly ask for in your time. That's, yeah. You could not wish for a better time whatsoever. And now, with that much time, they are going to be set to go in here. There is a Sombra behind, but that's Cloud getting cleaned up with the combination of the 76 and Ana. The engagement is coming in the top corner here, forcing them off of that space, but there is the Pharah doing work, and that's 202 IQ Gamer picking off a Logadog on the Lucio.
That might be the call to silence the music, pull a call off the attack, and that's exactly what will happen. And Shooter is still in the firing line from Kruzno's soldiers, so he's going to have to be extremely careful, or they'll be without a mech, and not having a mech in any instance is not fun, but especially when you're trying to coordinate a push. And they do have a lot of ults on the side of Yin and Yang, that is to be said, but they have to really put these together because, especially on Assault and especially on Hanamura, being Stonewall can last for a long time, and there goes the Dragon Blade and the Barrage, one each for each side, and basically the feeling was mutual, barely damage exchange. Jabs and Kruzno do get frags to the name. Logadog is the only person to drop any members of the On Point Gaming squad, and that will be the end of that. And amongst the flurry, they do have about 5 minutes and 10, so they do have a few chances to go back to the drawing board and try again.
Well, with that, it's got 5 whole minutes. They got time, they got hours, they got days, they got weeks, they got months to start rolling forward here. And more importantly, that means that they got attempts for days. They're going to be coming right back in here any moment now, seeing if they can't get that engagement. Winston is putting pressure in that top corner. The Pharah, though, is still doing so much work right now, and seeing Cloud swap over to the McCree to see if he can counter that. But it's not going to mean much when Dialect is the first one to fall. A couple trades have come back in here. Oh, with the boost on the aim hacking 76, this could be rough. However, now the boost coming back in on to the Winston. But there's 202 IQ Gamer, there's a Barrage, getting 3 of them. And once again, stunting the push.
Warner's Edge was in primal rage and had the nano boost at his back as well, so there was a lot invested for nothing gained, and there goes Combat Wombat being stretched out as well. Crusoe's really fighting for more frags with his name after dropping the Ana in Combat Wombat. And not only was the fight won, there was a lot of time given the fight was extremely elongated. The defense will buy a lot of time and buy another chance to take a breather. There is still 3 minutes and 30, but that was one push, and it bled that much time. Something to really consider in the future.
And as their days have dwindled down to mere minutes, gonna see a few more pushes coming in. They're going through the front door this time. Busting straight through and eating some damage from the Pharah, but they found a nice opener this time onto the Ana. That is a massive starting pick. They found another one onto the Pharah Cloud doing work, and now they've started to have their opportunity. They have their window. The Pharah will be rezzed up here, but it doesn't really matter when Dialect still got 2 more kills. Pharah is still in, causing some havoc with Jarps, but the fact they found these kills is a massive starting point. Can they find anything else? 202 IQ Gamer still doing work. He's found a pair of kills himself. And now with the spawns coming back in, this is actually falling apart. They're not even going to get a tick off of this cyber waste.
No, and there is one crucial element that I want to highlight. The fact that the Mercy had to resurrect. Yes, 200 IQ was down, but the Mercy went straight to where 202 had gone. And Shooter's being stretched out. Oh no. Worst thing to happen is a staggered Pilot Diva. And 202 got...
as well. Give him credit, was doing his best to try and jump off that cliff. But the fact that all of OPGO were sitting there body blocking him, there was no way for him to get out there. He did his damnedest, but still was super staggered.
Indeed, and the fact that 202 IQ basically tipped that fight back into the side of OPGO. That's going to be a huge oversight that they cannot afford to do again. There's the opening frag. Once again, the 202 IQ will say no more combat wombat for falling to the hand of Cloud. So this could be another chance to, if not get a point, get the entire, basically seize the entire point for themselves.
Well, they are still trying to fight it out with the opening pick onto the Lucia. The offense may have something, but now with the D-Mech Diva and this Pharah still doing work, doesn't really matter. It's actually going to be Halo Smack getting a couple of the kills there. But they need to find something to counter this Pharah. They're doing absolutely nothing about it, and it's punishing them every single time.
That's not through the lack of trying, though. Definitely see Cruzno giving his damnedest, but it just doesn't seem to be enough. But look at the ultimates that are on deck. But the most crucial one that is missing, as a matter of fact, Halo Smack had the Graviton Surge and used it in the last fight. It was actually eaten by the Devo Shooter McGrath, and he actually kind of gloated about it. So that could end up biting them very hard if they're not careful. We're down to 30 seconds, and this is basically ride or die for the side of Yag Yag to try and even get a third on this point.
They are in this engagement. The ult's coming out here. Hack coming through. Not before the 76 got his ulti off, and he's raining in a little bit of death with those bullets. Not able to find anything yet, but here comes the real reign of justice. 202 IQ Gamer getting a 2K, picking up the Ana and the Sombra is a huge start. The remaining players here need to find something. Otherwise, it will be OPGO holding true. And 202 adds a third kill for himself here. Looking for a fourth. There will be the fourth coming in onto the Diva. Will he find a 5K here? He's working on the Tracer and the Winston. Winston will go down to Hydro, but it's a 5K for 202. Make it 6 as he finds their spawner. And that's just absolutely dire. When you get a 6K, Hado getting a pair himself, that will pretty much ruin your day.
Indeed, and ruin the push. And I will go back to it once again. The fact that one of the attacks, they got rid of a majority of the defense and were looking to get the point for themselves. If not only one tick, they left the Mercy alive and gave the Mercy a window to bring one of their heavy hitters back into the fray. And well, who else would be the heavy hitter with the one with the number of IQ points that he has to his name in his name? Bring him back, and he will bring the pain and bring the justice. And that is what he did. And that will leave what started as a monumental push from the side of Yin and Yang, just leaving them wanting something so much more substantial. They only have 1 point to their name, so the win condition for the side of OGPO is as follows. They get the first point, and they get 1/3 of the second, and they take Hanamura.
1/3 of 2 is all they need. And I don't know if you want to map that out and give the exact numbers of what 1/3 of 2 is.
So, what is it? 133.3 repeating, of course, percentage of points. As assuming the entire map is 200%.
It's
I've
not
no-
200% though.
I thought we were doing separate units. You threw me through a loop there.
One.
And I just got made
That's
to
what
look
I'm
like
here
a
for.
complete...
That's
you
also
keep me
what
on my
I'm here
toes,
for.
Dream. You keep me on my toes. I love it. But now
If you don't
the...
make your co-caster look like an idiot, you're doing something wrong, right?
yeah, Corey Graves gets away with that every week. Poor Dubs has got focused down and almost destroyed with the Bionade, and the debuffs just going towards him, going down to a 3rd health, but wasn't able to be finished off. And now there's a brawl straight at the point. They're wasting no time on either side.
Well, with the Widow up above on Cloud, he is doing work right now, turning in some good damage. None of these kills have really come in for either side. Cloud will finally pick off the Ana, and that's a lovely opener for him. So he's going to be thrilled with that pick as he's looking to find anything else. We have some of these ultis starting to be used now. Coalesce is coming out, Nana Boost as well. Kills, they're not quite there yet for either team. It's just been a very lengthy fight, Cyberwaste, but a greater shatter. It caught 4, and that will give On Point Gaming the opening they need as they clean everybody up.
Everybody except for the Widow, who's hightailing it all the way back towards the second point. And Hados back is saying, no more running. Take the bus.
6
Going back
minutes
on
and
the
40
race-
seconds, Cyberwaste,
Yes.
to get 1 tick.
And not only that, they're running and wasting no time. They're already on the point, and there is the Transcendence to try and buy time. And Dialect has put up the Do Not Disturb sign, taking out 3 with the Riptire, 1 with the Concussion Mine, and saying, get off my property. That'll be the end of that in explosive fashion.
Really nice anti there. That meant that there wasn't the healing from Transcendence. And with that, that Riptire just did everything it needed to. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Hello there.
That's basically synergy 101 with ultimates. That's what good synergy can do, and that's definitely brought a huge gap for the defenders of Yin and Yang to basically dig in their heels, much like On Point Gaming actually did to them in their previous half.
Well, they are engaging right up through the top corner, and there's the Graviton going the other way as they're trying to find any of these kills, trying to find some of these players. Dialect being bounced around, kept alive though, and that means he's done a lot of damage. There's going to be a major charge taking the Reinhardt way out of position, and Jarp's actually off the map. And now Cruz now on the Widow has found the first opener for the offense, finds a second one, picking off the Mercy, which is very nice. He's going to get a 3rd one onto the Zarya. Cruz now with a 4th onto the Riptire, and a 5th onto the Ana. He is hitting everything before Cloud shuts him down.
Taking the objective.
He ran right for that long. They could have given him the opening that they needed, but and now they really want to make a go of this 202 and just dropped the beat and given the compatriot Jobs a little bit of extra time on the point. And now this elongated fight, just waiting for the respawns to return. And now with Cled and Jobs hitting the deck, that might be the call to say, no, that's enough of that. And On Point are electing to do so as Kruzno does go back on the respawn timer. An elongated fight with a couple of really tense moments. If things played a little bit differently, we could be in a very different situation. But now that Cloud has the long sightlines with the Widow and the damage boost to boot, could make OGPO's life an absolute living hell if they're not careful.
And the real thing to be careful of is going to be that Kruzno versus Cloud duel that we saw before. When Kruzno had a window of space, he absolutely shredded the entirety of Yin Yang. So, or sorry, of On Point Gaming. So we'll see if it can come in again.
It'll only be a matter of time. But the
My
more
ultimate
time
is almost
that is
ready.
blown off the clock just by idle threats, not even wanting to engage, just when are you going to make a move? When you make a move. And now On Point are actually making a move. They have moved out onto the point proper. A huge anti-nade there. And the Dialect will drop Hados back. So that is one big threat dropped off the table. Combat Wombat has set out Kruzno though, so that big damage dealer is not a threat. And after all that small, well, you call it a small fight with a long intro sequence, goes to the side of Yin and Yang, and we're just hitting 3 minutes flat.
I have a really weird glitch right now. When the Ana suicided, the audio hasn't stopped for me. So it's in the background of my map right now, Justin. I have an Ana screaming. Just very faintly in the background. It's great.
It's wonderful. The Club man that much to the team. Just gonna keep hearing about it. And Kruzno got rid of Cloud in a quick order, forcing the resurrection out. There goes the Riptire. It was not clever victim, but definitely I would say shatters the. It looked like it shattered the shield there, but it didn't actually do it. And now it's basically the side of Yin and Yang holding on now.
My ultimate.
And now we're running into the twilight hours. We're running to just about 2 minutes left. And that 1/3 is proving a lot more difficult than it looks like on paper.
13 minutes and like 15 seconds of combined time so far of teams trying to get a singular tick on this. Or sorry, not 13 so far. We've only had about 11 minutes of it so far. But it hasn't happened yet. So maybe in the last minute, 40 seconds here, we will see On Point Gaming break the curse, break the streak, and get a singular tick. That's all that they want. That's all that they need as they try and do it.
And be wary, the side of Yin and Yang are posted on the high ground, not really showing their hand, and 202 IQ has tried to get one half of the defense off of the high perch, and Dialect is nano boosted, but it is to no avail. Kruzno, Japs, and the rest of the squad have finally come close at least to breaking this defense, and there it is, the last piece will fall. Shooter McGrath does end up hitting the deck. It took a lot longer than they would have liked, I'm sure, but OPGO will take the lead once more. They're up 2 maps to 1 as we go into our next map. And look at this play of the game from Dialect.
Oh man!
Oh man.
I thought we'd get to do it, but
I thought we'd see it, and then we'd talk about it.
Beach didn't want to see it. He said, I think he's lobby leader. Yeah, so he just said no, not happening. Feels bad. Rest in peace. But now we do have the decision coming in for Yin Yang right now, whether or not they want to go to Blizzard World or Hollywood.
Both compelling choices actually. I like both the maps. So I'm impartial. What would you prefer though?
Blizzard World. Yeah. I
So you're definitely sticking with Blizzard World.
Yeah. That's what I'd like to see. It's honestly, I quite liked it since it's been in the pool. It's also a, solidly aesthetically pleasing map. Yeah.
I actually really like it because of all the subtle nods to a lot of Blizzard's other titles. Well, it's in the name after all, that it's a giant homage to Blizzard and their titles. And we've actually had do we have the call of what map this is? And Looks like Yin and Yang have made the call. We're going to Blizzard World. Oh, sorry, Blizzard World.
Blizzard World.
I don't know where I heard it, but it just sort of stuck.
Oh, it helped that they said like when he made the pick, Cloud said Blizzy. So like it was implanted in your head.
That's my reasoning. I'm sticking to it.
Listen, half my job is to make you look bad. The other half is to make you look good and justify your
Justify. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, waiting for everybody to ready up, but I want to sort of ask you a bit of a question about the passive that Junkrat has, and given how long those types of passive abilities have been in games, the last I remember of the sort was in Call of Duty 4, which is how old now? Like 10 years old or something like that? They had martyrdom. The old clinks of death.
Play COD.
They had the old clinks of death. Like as soon as you frag someone, in a few of the games they'd like roll towards you. Have you ever had an instance like that where you'd frag a Junkrat and you'd see the nades that he dropped from his body? You ever seen them sort of magnetize to anyone, or do they just sort of do what they're told and just sort of sit there?
I haven't seen it do anything weird in a while. At one point, I do recall I killed one midair, and I think with the forward momentum, they literally landed at my feet, even though I killed them like 6 feet away from me. It was sad. It was a sad time. That was a sad time.
Gravity's one mean mother! Ain't that the truth? Anyway, we have Yin and Yang on the attack first, and I wonder if we'll actually see this Doomfist. We're seeing Doomfist quite a bit now in a lot of competitive play, and I really enjoy his play style. Partially as a fighting game fan, I can make all the references during a cast, which is fun. But he's such a disruptor, and especially if he can put a stiff hand to a high value target, definitely going to make things easier for whatever team he's on. And the gates are down, and we are rolling out towards Blizzard World.
And with the Brigitte on the field, they're rolling out the Riot Squad, trying to get right up in their faces right now. There is a Wrecking Ball trying to deny it, and Cloud has fallen hard with a big kick to the face from the Winston. Knocked unconscious, as is the rest of this offense. Being put to sleep very quickly.
Indeed, you're gonna need the paramedics. How many fingers am I holding up? And that'll be the end of that. There was barely a scratch on them too, on the side of OGPO. They did get one member lost, but when you wipe out an entire team, that's definitely something you'll take. And then one to have a go again, and Hammer's just bowling through and already put out the minefield to force the attackers to be at bay for the time being. And well, this defense is working so far.
For the time being, it's doing its job. It's 202 IQ Gamer with the Dragon Blade, finding a pair of them. Will be picked off by Cloud in the end. The Brigitte doing all kinds of work. Now they're still trying to find their remaining players here. There is a Wrecking Ball doing a lot.
Little hamster, but it might not be enough given a lot of the members are either low or out of the way on the side of OGPO, and there is the Graviton Surge. Do we see the Space Jam? Clip does get dropped off of the field, and now it's only 2 defenders left on the side of OGPO. Charisma does get the reply, but it's not enough, and that will be the end of that. 4 minutes and 29 will be on the cards, and as the gate opens, the side of Yin and Yang are really wanting to move forward and make things as difficult as possible for the defense to get into position.
This payload's popping.
Well, they're putting that pressure in. Defense looks to be pretty comfortable with where they are for the time being, though. Doomfist is coming in, causing some problem, as is the Wrecking Ball. And there's the area denial. It's going to catch out 2 people. That's the Brigitte and the Lucio. And actually the Zarya. A triple kill from the Wrecking Ball ult, and I don't think I've ever seen that, to be honest with you.
I've seen a lot of damage done, that is for sure, and there's been plenty of doubles. But never the 3-piece, and just basically forcing everybody to get the hell back. And there's there is the
denied area.
Yeah. Clear the area. And even with the meteor strike from Cruiser not getting all that much room, but basically being enough of a threat. There is the Dragon Blade from 202 IQ, cutting combat wombat down to size, and well, this attack has very little chance of getting going now.
Yeah, this defense is so very deep, and it's seeming to work out, which is the ridiculous and best part. They're picking them apart, and they're trying to get up in their face as this card is moving forward. The Wrecking Ball has gone in and behind, as has the Winston. That's causing everyone to turn around and causing a bit of a problem. The only downside is the Winston may fall, but he's going to prop the primal range to try and continue this nuisance. Graviton surges in. These ultis are out. These players should be cleaned up, but that's a lot of ults used and no one's died. Finally, the area denial comes in, but even then it hasn't done a lot. And now the offense is starting to get some ground. They've got their footing. They're finding some of these kills, and they're continuing to move forward. A lot of time was burned by On Point Gaming, but they really accomplished nothing outside of that.
Perhaps that's enough. They do have enough time to put together another defense. Kleb got staggered out extremely badly, though, so that is something I'm known. Hado's back getting extremely low as well. One attack's being close to being taken out, and now the attackers are actually moving extremely far forward and giving them a taste of their own medicine. This could come back to bite them on both sides, as a matter of fact. We could be in a full-blown war of attrition for the foreseeable future. We're coming close to actually getting the second point with no contention whatsoever.
There will be the Dragon Blade. There's that little bit of contention, and it's shredding through. Picked up the Zarya, finds himself a Lucio as well before going down to the Brigitte. That means that the respawns have come through. They need to find the next one of these kills, though, if they want to have any chance. And losing their Brigitte doesn't look too good.
That's a huge asset being taken out of the fight. Club's been isolated and promptly deleted, and the second checkpoint does get taken by Yin and Yang, and we move into the final section. I forget what I'm blanking on what the reference to this is. I'm pretty sure it's Diablo, but I forget which section it actually is. And Beach has been actually dropped from the fight extremely late. That's made things extremely difficult because now the defenders are down a healer.
Get in there.
Well, let's just start rolling forward with that healer down. Defense is trying to reform, and there's a lovely pick on to the Brigitte. Kuzno over on the McCree is doing work as well, finds the Doomfist. This offense may have to back off and slow down because they are still hemorrhaging players right now. Pursuit's coming forward as they fall back to spawn. And a bit of a spawn camp is, in fact, coming in.
Perhaps a tiny bit of one, but not enough to really warrant hanging on to it now that all the attackers are back in the fray. Now they will have to respect this on the side of On Point and keep everything out on the deck. And there goes the minefield from Hados back, and we'll claim Cloud. That is a huge pick off there, and Hados back and Kruzno being a tandem effort. It's basically, well, denying the area, and now that's another assertion of dominance. Not getting any frags, but keeping them locked in spawn. Shooter McGrath will end up paying for it with his life, but it could be a noble sacrifice. We're running into 1 hot minute, and well, the side of Yin and Yang, they basically have 1, maybe 2 chances, but well, 1 where they have as many ults as they'd like.
Oh, but the offense has found 4! But it's Cruz though, he pops the Deadeye, only finds Dialect. Well, really this defense needs to form up as Cruz now has fallen. Cart's moving forward. Might in fact get there. They need to get on this rather quickly as he's moved up the hill. Almost to the finish line. Just trying to find the kill, but a great Earthshatter is going to come down onto Smack. Looking for anything but Pleb. And Beach going down. That's the Ana and Brigida. This defense is still crumbling. Area denials in though. It's done so much damage on a few of these players. In fact, it may kill some of them, but no, not going to. Delaying them, buying time as Hydrosmack has fallen. A few more spawns coming forward. They're trying to delay and doing what they can as Beach gets boostioed. In fact, he will fall as well. The remaining players should be cleaned up. All these kills are going to the offense. You have to imagine, surely, that they will be able to cap this.
Whirling Dervish, there is the Hammond just orbiting the point like the center of the universe. Hydrosmack will be silenced into the black hole at the edge of Water Edge's hammer. And they ended up capping out the point. We have had a pause there. And, we've had the pause called for jobs. And it seems that there's cake for one of the members of the server, and I'm extremely jealous.
Everyone is singing Jarp's sister happy birthday. Oh, everyone sing. Never mind. I just had visions of like him having voice activation in Discord, and his teammates are like, pause, 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 pause. It's like, why? It's like, we can freaking hear happy birthday coming through your microphone, man.
Push
I had visions
to
of that
talk, dude. Come on.
Hey, I use voice activation. What can I say?
No. Well, you.
Oh yeah, let's thank you for guys who suggested this. I'm tone deaf and have a throat ulcer, but I'm gonna do this anyway, Cyberway.
No,
happy birthday.
No.
Happy birthday to Jarps' sister. Happy birthday to Jarps' sister.
Stop
Happy
it!
birthday, Jarps' sister. Happy birthday to you.
I told you to stop. No.
I mean, if it's for a good cause.
If they end up losing because of this, they're gonna. Well, if On Point end up losing this match and going to another map, I'm gonna blame you for that.
Why would that be my fault? Because I'm getting involved in the birthday spirit?
Yes, precisely.
Look,
someone has to play the party pooper. Come on, let me have this.
I think. Well, yeah, you never know. I don't know. But here's the thing. I feel like this isn't a case of you not being in the party spirit. I feel like this is a case of you just having an issue with either Jarps or his sister. I mean, why would you not want to come up? She, from what very little has been told in chat, she sounds like a lovely lady. I think it is perfectly acceptable for us to wish her happy birthday. Why would you be against that?
Because
Are you trying to suggest that we're neglecting?
I'm saying it's less than ideal of a thing to do on broadcast, especially when we're in the middle of a match.
Also less than ideal, the fact that we've been paused for this time. I think it's probably more entertaining than me trying to vamp and say and break this down. I think Twitch chat loved the happy birthday. I think you should just get in the birthday spirit. You know what?
No.
I think what you need to do is you need a party hat.
No!
Or a kazoo thing.
Stop trying.
What are those called? What are those called?
Because really, we're gonna bring kazoos into this.
What is it called though? It's not a kazoo. It's the thing that like.
I know what it's called.
It has the balloon thing that comes at the end. And you're like,
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's. You know what it is, but you never know what it's called.
What is it?
I don't know.
I thought you said you knew what it was called.
I said it's the thing that everybody knows, but nobody knows what it's called.
Okay. You know what? You're gonna have to carry the cat. I'm gonna quickly just Google birthday kazoo thingy. I search birthday. So I type in birthday kazoo, and the first suggested is birthday kazoo thing. I'm not the only person that saw this. It's called a party horn or a party blower.
Oh. Well.
The more you know.
I can't argue with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is AOE Sports Ascent. Not only do we give you good Overwatch, we also educate you. Thanks for your company.
Listen, it's like you know, when you come to the Church of Dreamboat, you gotta expect some lessons on party blowing and stuff like that. So it's what we're here for, right? Party blowing, education, happy birthdays, happy birthday, Permzilla.
Yeah.
Everything.
Happy birthdays. That's also a term in fighting games where you get 2 or more attackers with a single move. The more you know.
Well, he's a nerd.
I fly that flag very proudly. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay.
Now, On Point Gaming here have to try and at least finish out the map.
Your parents aren't.
Come on, dude.
You know what? It was right there. I'm sorry. But here we go. We have them running fast with the Lucio Bustio coming straight in, going up in the top left-hand corner. But they're not there. They're being wrapped behind. This is creative from the defense right now. But will it be effective is the million-dollar question. But Combat Wombat falling, I'm skeptical that it will. Cloud going down as well. Instead of doing what they wanted, they just wiped with 3 kills going the way of Jarp.
We must claim the objective.
Well, that'll be the end of that. Maybe it's all the birthday cake he's been eating. He's got a new lease on life and a new power in the back. And, well, first push. That'll be that. And now On Point Gaming have got a ton of time. 5 minutes and 40 in the back pocket to finish out this map. And good God, that was dominant.
Well, they're trying to come straight back through. Defense is trying to get back aggression just the same way that it was done to them last time. And Jarps has fallen, first one to go down. That is a very big one to fall as well with the Reinhardt.
And even though there is still the fight, the members of Yin and Yang are not close enough to really stop the point in its tracks until just now, and now there's going to be a brawl on the point proper, but it's probably got shafted by the Graviton Surge, and there are 2 nano boosts from each side, and Jarps and Hados has definitely gotten the better of that, and Dalek's the only person to be able to reply. So although it is just a back and forth affair, this payload is, well, if not close to stopping, it's going to be a hot point for contention, and Kruzno is still trying to break things through.
And that's a good job there. Drops the shield, and that allows Jarps to convert on the rival Reinhardt, as these 2 Pharahs are taking this guy, dueling. Now, get a little bit of space right now. Kruzno still is down for Cloud to try and do some work, and it's actually swapped over Kruzno to the Widowmaker, where he had so much success on Hanamura.
Yeah, if it's gonna keep working, why not? And there's the self-destruct there from Shooter, but Grav does not get a ton of value, or even Shaz. And there is the Earthshatter there, dropping both of the tanks, but did end up going down in turn. So it was basically a whose hammer is stronger. It was basically a strong arming contest. There is the Graviton Surge, does end up claiming 2 members of On Point, but it is not enough. And Kruzno has dropped Cloud out of the sky. So this is going to keep going, but you'd slightly give the edge to On Point given how things are going, and you definitely would now given who's hit the deck and how much value they hold.
Again, this late pick may come in. Dialect, in fact, will be staggered super late. Jarps is a man possessed right now. Feed him cake every time you can at this rate. Cloud, that was a dirty 2K. Straight back through, and he is perched nicely up on his corner, trying to find any more kills here. He gets a boost over to Halo Smack, but he should be cleaned up in the end, and it will be. But Jarps again, he's found 2. Jarps is like, this is impressive, man. He is looking good.
He's a big German boy doing big German boy things. He's almost gotten another Earth Shatter, and seeing how much value he's gotten from his Reinhardt tonight, hopefully that trend will continue and basically crack this entire defense once again. And keep this in mind, even if they do end up faltering, they have 4 minutes as of now, so they definitely do have time on their side. There is the self-destruct from Shooter McGrath. Does not get much. I think that would have shattered Jobs' shield, but not all that much else. Cloud has gotten rid of hate on smack though, so that is a huge piece off of the table. And that could be the cue to exit for On Point, and indeed it is, especially with Jobs going down.
Jarps down, team capitalized. Seems to be the message there. Remaining players falling back for On Point Gaming.
They're fully loaded though. Look at their ultimate bank. 6 of them. And there is the Nano Blade from Kruzno. Does end up taking out Dialect in Combat Wombat. So perhaps this preemptive sort of backpedaling and restructuring of the defense is actually looking to bite them squarely in the behind. There is the Graviton Surge catching 3 of them. There's the big Earthshine, the Bionade. Oh, a whole lot of carnage and disarray with a completely shattered defense. There is the Earth Shatter from Jobs. Does not get much value, but does scare the defense enough to force them to disperse. Shooter McGrath does get eaten down by Kleb, and now it is only single file and the last stand for Yin and Yang.
Yeah, there is a Wrecking Ball there. That can be a big delay. Meteor Strike as well. Not gonna find a kill. And players still are being cleaned up. They bought really good time, but Kruzno, I mean, he's on this Genji, shredding them. Jarp's doing so much work, and that will be the cap all the way through. And they have about 2.5 minutes left, whereas Yin Yang had nothing left in the bank.
And given how this game mode works, the side of Yin and Yang will not be able to mount an attack. And the win condition for the side of On Point Gaming will be as follows. Just like on Hanamura, they get the point up to 1/3, and that'll be the end of that. And apparently Jobs hasn't been fed cake, so oh dear. Imagine if he does get fed cake. We could see an absolutely demolishing performance, the likes of which we'd never seen, just powered up by a ton of sugar and basically yummy goodness. I'm really craving cake now.
Did he ever tell us what type of cake it was?
No. What do you think it is?
Some Beach says some pink frosting cake. I'm assuming that was communicated in voice. So pink frosting, like it could just be like
I want it to be an
color,
ice
chocolate
cake.
cake. No,
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be like maybe like an angel food cake
Ooh, classy.
with
It
like
does
pink dyed lemon frosting.
Okay, that sounds pretty cool. But we're not a bakery show. We're an Overwatch channel, and now the only point of contention is right out the back, and they're basically brawling on the point. Both sides are, and Kruzno has dropped Combat Wombat, so that's one crucial piece of the puzzle falling into place for the win condition of On Point Gaming. Shooter McGrath does claim the 202 IQ gamer, and Jobs has hit the deck as well. Feed that dude a ton of sugar. Dialect will not provide it, and well, they're holding off for the time being on the side of Yin and Yang.
Water's Edge seeing all the work that Jarps was doing and decided, hey, you know what? It's my time. He can't see me. I'm just gonna kill him. It's his time. Now.
Do. Running into sub 1 minute though, so it'll be up to the side of On Point Gaming, and Kruzno has made the call to use the Empress Sight and basically sniff out this defense, and that could give 202 IQ the chance to rain justice and rockets from above as Blizzard definitely forcing the side of Yang and Yang to run scared and hold a little bit more passive than they probably would have liked. And now the second brawl of the point will begin now.
Yeah, Jarps with a nice opener, but he's very deep in behind and will be cleaned up. And again, that's a little bit detriment. And now Water's Edge with the remaining players coming in, trying to clean up, trying to find all these kills. And in fact, they will, as this is being stunted once again. There's not a lot of time left for another push, and they didn't even get a tick.
No,
we see a draw on this map.
We could actually see it end up in a deadlock. We could see this end up in a draw. And there is not a lot of speed on the side of On Point Gaming. They're trying to get the touch. They were able to do so. He just pull out the convalescence. And there is the Justice and the counterpart of the Deadeye from Cloud will claim the Pharmacy combo in one foul swoop. And now it is only one member left standing. Now no longer standing thanks to Water's Edge's hammer. And now it's only a matter of time. Just wanting to bleed the clock to try to get the reinforcements back for On Point Gaming, but that is not the case. Blizzard World will end in a stalemate. It's a draw.
Wow. Wow, that happened, Cyber Race. We had the draw come through. And that means, just as we go into our fourth map, which will be Oasis, depending on the results of this map, we may need to go to Lijiang Tower, which is our tiebreaker map. So we do have a tiebreaker set in case we need to go there. That would only be if on Oasis here that Yin Yang win. So that's what we're dealing with as we head into our potentially final map.
And the next protocol, as you did mention, will be Oasis. And yay, can't wait to see it. And what we did see in the opening map, these King of the Hill or control maps, well, you can basically balance it on the edge of a knife. And did I get given a incorrect map order, or did I forget something?
I've just been reading the announcement post in the Discord.
Yeah.
That says that Oasis's last map with tiebreaker Lijiang.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
So yeah. So it is Oasis. Which is where we go.
That's where we are going.
I mean, they're set on Lijiang, so it's Oasis. I love it when we have lobby leaders that like we're figuring it.
Ain't that a thing? No matter what, we're definitely.
I'm confused. Like they're saying we go to Lijiang to determine the winner of Blizzard. I'm pretty sure Blizzard stays a tie.
Yeah, I think we're going back to the old. I believe it was the way that that a lot of the older Overwatch tournaments. This is way back at release, and they would require a result on a map like that where it ended in a draw. So what they did was they go to a single point on a control map, and then end up making it go to the. Basically making it go, but it wasn't a best of 3, it was a best of 1. That's how they always do it. But in this instance...
Yeah, no, we're going to Lijiang.
We'll be going to Lijiang Tower. Bright lights, big frags, big city, pretty people, stuff, things. And a map that we are extremely familiar with.
Yes, that we are. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. The way that I have it written here sounds weird. We'll get it sorted, though. I think this is, we're going to Lijiang one way or another. if it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter, Cyberwaste. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. What matters is we're gonna have fun.
And that is the aim of it all, is it not? Especially for not only for the players, not only for the casters, not only for the producers, but in the end, the viewers watching at home. We do appreciate your company and just feasting on some Overwatch this evening, and we're grateful that you will join us. And now we go to a battleground where many a frag has happened, many a pint of blood has been spilt to the soils and the city streets below. We're going to Lijiang Tower.
I think the Lijiang Tower is where CeeLo Green got the inspiration for the song "Bright Lights, Bigger City."
Maybe.
Got it from Overwatch.
Interesting.
Ignore the fact that the song came out like years before Overwatch did.
Then
got inspiration from it.
He should have performed at the Overwatch League finals instead of DJ Khaled. Why didn't he do that?
Maybe he was busy. There's your new motion. Get CeeLo Green for the Overwatch League
CeeLo Green
finals.
CeeLo for OWL. Book it. And
Sugar Grab is gone. We gotta pause.
Yeah, we do have a pause, but that's because of necessities. He's left the server, and apparently ping's been an issue. And for those that have watched many a round of Australian Overwatch, from trials to open to other amateur tournaments, all the way up to contenders, there will always be internet issues. And, well, we're going to have to deal with them for a little while longer, sadly.
Well, it wouldn't be Oceanic Overwatch without a pause. It's not necessitated by cake, it's necessitated by internet. Oh yeah, I should mention, maybe Jarvis can get cake now.
Yeah. Jobs probably needs to... Oh, no! Never mind, Shooter is back. His cake will be left wanting.
Well, we're still paused. You can sing "Happy Birthday" now, Cyberwaste. You didn't do it last
time. No.
I know.
Someone has to be anti-birthday in the commentary duo, and that's going to be me. I'm sorry, I don't make.
We can't just.
I'm sorry, I don't.
It's the birthday period. Just because you're an old man and you're bitter when it comes to birthdays doesn't mean you have to hate it for everybody else.
Well, we'll get our cake another time. We've got the engagement already moving out towards the garden and basically ending in a bit of a stalemate thus far. There's been a lot of damage exchanged, and Cloud has actually been the first scalp claimed on Lijiang Tower. Krusno will take that honor, and now the point is officially open for business. 202 IQ has ejected Shooter McGrath from the mech, and Krusno will get rid of the pilot. And now the side of On Point are on the point and on the board. I've used that reference twice, but it works.
And worth noting, while they are on this point, if they manage to win this map, this is the end of the series. They will take it 3-1. Yin Yang need it to stay alive.
Indeed, and
has the next kill onto Logadog as well, which is a lovely start. 202 Gamer, of course he's gonna get another one. He's done so much work on this Pharah. Cloud though picks him out of the sky, but will fall to Cruz though, who's had his number tonight. It feels like
no one can hide.
It's been a duel that we've hyped up ever since the first map of Ilios, and it's basically been going all night. We could basically have a tail of the tape if they end up somewhere else one day. Hellsmax moved right towards the spawn gate of Yin and Yang, and basically forced the side to hold back for a little while, or else they're going to eat a ton of Mountain Dew, Doritos, and Fallout. So that's going to delay things for a little while longer. And there goes the self-destruct on the side of Yin and Yang. Does not claim much aside from a Winston shield, so that might be a little bit fruitless when all things are considered. And all the while, On Point is still a group percentage, but the longer data that goes unchecked, it could change, but Beach will make short work of that not being the case.
I always love how in the kill feed it's backwards when D.Va jumps off a cliff. Like baby D.Va dies first, and then somehow the mech dies afterwards.
It's a constant conundrum. How does a pilot go down after the mech blows up, or before rather? Who knows? Well,
yeah, I don't know.
It looks like the side of Yin and Yang will be able to touch. It will definitely not be ideal though, especially with the Justice coming out and 202 IQ making short work of the mech and the pilot as well. Beach is able to assist as well. Hados got the final say on the counterpart there. Now it's only the primal rage of Warden's Edge, but will he be dragged with the floods? He's the only member on the point proper, and 202 IQ will put an end to that, and that will be 1 point away for the on-point squad to take the series.
1-0.
We are down to what could be the very end here. Only goodbye point where we say sayonara, adios, and all the other things along those lines. Or this is the turning point. This is the one that's going to show up in Sports Center the next day, your TSN turning point, where Yin Yang get 2 more here, winning this segment, win the next one, push us to our final map and steal the series away. Which will it be? That is the question, and we're going to have answers momentarily. The gates are dropping, Cyberwaste, and we are away to the races.
Indeed, who will get the first touch? It looks like 202 IQ is definitely wasting no time on the Farah. A big point of contention. There is no D.Va on the side of Yin and Yang, so that could leave 202 IQ completely uncontested because there's no defense matrix to deal with it. We'll see how that will end up coming to fruition. It looks like the side of Yin and Yang is essentially being pinched upon, but is surviving for the time being, getting the mech of Hados back and Jarps off of the table. And now the first point is oh so close to falling to them, and 202 IQ did get up a little bit too high, so that forced the point to go over. Well, it looked good on paper, but on the side of on point, we're just sort of not quite all the way there in terms of what they wanted to put together.
Get in there.
And Hado's going to be D-mech'd way back, just going to jump off the cliff to get the mech back. And this is a really good stumping right now from Yin Yang as their percentage climbs. They are a quarter of the way there and building, while the remaining players of On Point Gaming are just sitting back in their spawn. They can't get forward right now. They cannot bust through.
Oh, and the pharmacy of Kleb and 202 IQ are wrapping all the way around, missing out on the potential engagement, and there's already gone onto the point proper. Does have the barrages already, so if they're not careful, it could be worth quite a lot. Kruzno will cut combat wombat in half. Shoot at the grab will be the iron curtain for the side of Yin and Yang, and will completely prevent any point of contention for the time being on the side of On Point, and that'll be so them pulling the plug. And well, where was this Yin and Yang on the previous set? They're looking all fired up and not wanting to go down without a fight.
75%. We've now got them just a measly 20% away from closing this one out. Ferris up in the sky right now. Cruz, though, he needs to have a massive impact. Otherwise, this is going to be an easy 100-0. Good job by Yin Yang so far, but now the engagement's starting to come forward onto this point right now. They're pressuring through. They need to find some of these kills. They need to find something. The Earth Shatter does not connect on anything, as they are still batting players around. D.Va Mech going to go through, not going to find a kill either. No one has found anything thus far, and the point has gone all the way up to 99%. Beach will be the first one to fall. Hados Mac is D-Mech. Yin Yang finding the first few picks. They found another one, and another one, and another one. They have found all the kills so far, and they are going to close this one out. We're going to a third segment with the bell ringing for a team kill.
There it goes, and Kruzno was the only reply there, but the reply was not enough, given that the point had completely maxed out. So now we are tied at 1, we go to Control Center. Well, this has been the deciding point for many a set in the past. We'll add another chapter to it here, and now the point remains to be seen. What composition will both sides elect to go with? I see Kruzno is really wanting to take a liking to the far, but we see that May, as a matter of fact, could actually be a unique choice and a choice that works, given a lot of the choke points are wide enough to use the wall to effectively blank out that point of entry or exit. So we'll have to wait and see how that gets implemented. And now the side of Yin and Yang are already in position to take the first fight.
The first engagement is finally going On Point Gaming's way. Feels like the first time they've even gotten kills since the first segment of this map. It's a great start for them, and they're trying to clean up. They may catch this Zarya very late. In fact, they will, as he's walled off by the unexpected Kruzno May pick.
Well, it's paying huge dividends right now. May the first fight basically would have been because of isolating two of the biggest threats and doing much of the same when another straggler was trying to retreat. So two separate fights, one on the back of the May alone. They're really wanting to put the boot in and stop the advance of Yin and Yang. And wasting no time, Halo Smack got rid of Dialer and jumps, basically charged in to a brick wall of ice. So definitely giving everybody the cold shoulder on the side of Yin and Yang, other members of On Point.
Doing a great job now with that Junkrat spam, causing a lot of damage, knocking these players around, causing a big nuisance and a huge earth shatter. Should find all these players caught. This 4 cleaned up there. It would be a full team kill with ease. Wow.
Whoa, and in the blink of an eye, blink and you miss it. That was the end of that, and off the back of that dominant team kill, it looked like we have had a pause called, and Beach has left the game, and we have someone else as the leader now.
Rest in peace, Beach. He's gone.
He's gone. We can't go to the beach anymore. The beach no longer exists. But I'd say it's a huge loss there, especially with the member in question who's made a huge impact, at least in my opinion, being one of the support players. And a good support won't be all that flashy, but will do their job. And he's done a job extremely well to give the side of On Point just a really stable foundation. And there's going to be a huge point of contention when he does return. He's going to come back. I believe he comes back with no ult charge. He'll have to choose a hero again. He'll have to spawn in again. And that's definitely not what you want.
The good news for On Point Gaming is the fact that, yeah, he's going to be spawning back in their spawn. On the other side, Yin Yang are all sitting in their spawn. So just because he's sitting, just because he's going to be back, he'll still get to the defense at the same time. Yes, he won't have his ult, but he'll be there to support his team, especially since Yin Yang are still waiting for a couple players to spawn up. So it's not like they're mid-engagement and they drop the support at the worst time. It's at least a better point now.
That's, yeah. Well, it's not as, perhaps it's not as big as you think at first glance, but well, at the end of the day, disconnecting in the middle of a game, especially one that's so pivotal, where it could basically win you out the series and say, yeah, thank you, have a good night. It's just gotta suck. But at the same time, you'd have to think about Yin and Yang and how they could be dealing with this. This could be the chance to give the members a bit of a breather and a chance to really sort of recalibrate and rethink their next plan of attack. Because they do have a couple of members on respawn. They do have the Riptile dialect and a couple of pieces that could be used in either this fight or the next. But it looks like Beach has returned. And nobody calls just yet. We're just waiting for the ping to calm down, it would seem.
There's a lot of just loud noises in chat now, which is great.
Yes. Apologies for
Fortunately,
that.
fortunately to the people out in Twitch chat, spamming their shell so that Dialect doesn't yell has worked. Dialect isn't one of the ones typing in all caps right now. So, little Twitch spam actually helping you out there, which is always a good sign.
Maybe it is true, the fact that it actually works.
I just see a lot of R question marks right now.
R?
R.
Are we in a pirate convention? R. That could be the big mystery of the night. What kind of cake was it? And a big wall from Kruzno forcing the tire of Dialect to find another route, and that could be a huge thing. But the recently returning breach has been dropped down, and Kruzno has gone to a similar fate, and that could actually be the way in that the study Yin and Yang had so desperately been wanting since the start of Control Center. And they'll actually get the point and start clawing back this gap.
And now, holding forward, they are set up, keeping their slept player up, which is always a good idea. Keep your sleepy teammates alive so that when they wake up, they are nice and energized and not tuckered out. But the Graviton comes in, 3 people caught in it. Riptire is going to be bouncing around. Doesn't seem to matter though, as Beach has found 2 of them. Riptire will also grab the Brigida, and now this is crumbling right now for Yin Yang. With 83% on the clock already, this is looking very dire for them as OPGO continue to find these kills. Now it needs to be a perfect push for Yin Yang, lest they lose this entire series, Cyberwaste. We are at the breaking point. They're 10% away from knocking off Yin Yang in week 1, round 1 of Ascent.
Indeed, what has that has actually been put to bed? There's the Graviton surge for the side of Yin and Yang. What side that Dialect, they're definitely not wanting to give this up without a fight and keep the series alive. We're not going to go down fighting. Well, we're going to keep ascending because that is the name of the tournament. And well, what they're wanting to do, they're really wanting to stay up and fighting. And well, they don't really have a choice. If they lose the next fight, it's going to be game over and good night.
Shooting back to the point. They are waiting for the players to come in. Kruzno actually took a lot of damage early on there. That could be detrimental as the Riptire is coming forth and picks off Jarp, one of the talisman for his team. A huge pick off. 202 IQ Gamer manages to pick off the Lucio is a nice reply. But without the Reinhardt, this is going to be hard, except 202 Gamer, he's grabbed now the Brigida. He's doing so much work on this Junkrat. That might be the opening they need. Jarps has returned. They are starting to get into this fight, and now the next kill is the most important one. And it's going to be hit already. 2 of them picking up the Junkrat. Ana going down as well. Shatter caught another one, and this should be it. They found everyone. There's just the Lucio on the point. They found that kill. They're going to be capping it. No one's there. No one can get on it. It's overtime right now. Here comes Water's Edge. He's knocked off the point, though. Will be cleaned up. They're trying to get through, trying to delay, and they just get on in the nick of time. Dialect sailing in the sky. He is also there. Will be down, and the Graviton means no one can get to it. Oh, the Zarya somehow got there, Cyberwaste. This is coming down so tight. But now they can't do it. On Point Gaming have win it. They close out the series 3-2-1.
I definitely had to fight for it. That really has to remain to be said. They went through a lot of strange things with disconnects and things like that. And Shooter with a huge play. It was one of the big factors on the night market, but sadly it was not to be. And I'd love to see this team again, as a matter of fact. They definitely showed a lot of promise, and maybe we'll see them again in the near future. But that will be the end of our set for Ascent.
All right, we have word. The thing that has been picking at us for the last 3 maps. What cake Jarps is eating. It's apparently pink frosting, chocolate fluffiness with tiny pearls.
Oh, I'm super jealous. Oh man, that was wonderful. That's wonderful. What a good note to end on. Good cake.
That is everything I need. And of course, commiserations to Yin and Yang. Was a very close game. They brought their all and really took probably more out of On Point Gaming than I actually expected. Of course, congrats to On Point Gaming themselves. They look quite good, and especially the end there, coming together, pulling that map out. And most importantly, shout out to Jarps' sister for happy birthday, and so that Jarps had cake and creating this entire cake debacle.
At least we can all end on a happy note because cake is a wonderful thing that brings people together.
Well, I have been Graham Dreamboat Morrison, joined by Cyber Waste. Of course, give us a follow on Twitter. They're at the bottom of the stream there, Dreamboatcast, and at I am Cyber Waste. And don't forget to drop a follow to this channel. We'll be live with more Australian Overwatch action. I believe Cyber Waste, there's games for AAOL tomorrow that you'll be casting. I'm excited to watch that. And of course, there will be more Ascent right here on this channel. Tune in then. Have a great evening, everybody. Drive safe.